Hi guys, everyone fill that Google form, okay? Switch it on. Tell her to switch it on. Already switched on. हाँ दे हाँ चलो 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 They are coming. Okay. So everyone fill the Google form. Till now we have discussed till what? Data types, right? Yeah. Data type and type conversions. We have few more data types. We will discuss it later. Before this, now we have a data type. Now we have a variable. Let's do some operation with it. Okay. Let's say I have a variable A and variable B, and I'm having a number 10 and 20. Okay, I have two variables. This symbol is called assignment operator. I'm assigning the value 10 to the variable A. Okay, so now with this variable, with one or two or more than two variables, I can do some operations. To do the operations, I need operators. I'm going to do some operations. There are more than 5-6 operations. To do the operation, I need an operator. Okay. So these variables will act like an operand. Listen carefully. The variable will be act like an operand. You take multiple variable, you do something with it, you do something, that something in between. Something in between is operator. Whatever you decide to do. Whether you want to compare between two variables, or do some addition, do some subtraction, do some any arithmetic operation, or what else? You want to check some logical operation, or if you want to do some conditional thing. Okay, we will be having so many operators. We will discuss it one by one. Now one simple example for an operation is adding two numbers. I have a A here, I have a B here. A has the value 10, B has the value 20. Now I want to add these two, means I will use the additional operator. This plus will act like a additional operator, addition operator. Okay. Before this, we have used plus for adding two strings. Plus for adding two strings. What is this called? Adding two strings is called? Concatenation. Yeah, concatenation. Okay. Plus can be used in multiple ways. So when you put plus between two numbers, it will be added. When you put plus between two string, it's a concatenation. Let's say I have a number on left side, for example integer on the left side, and I have a string on the right side. Okay, let's say I have a string C is equal to Ramesh. Okay, if I put plus symbol in between, what happens? Huh? Okay, few people say concatenation, so the output will be 10 Ramesh. Is it what you are saying? Okay, maybe. Any other answer? Left side I have A, right side I have a string 10 and Ramesh. What happens? Huh? Try it out. Check in. Write the code. Declare two variable A and Ramesh. A is equal to 10, C is equal to Ramesh. Try to add both and print it. Let's see what happens. Unsupported? Yeah. So we get the error unsupported operand type. What is that? Type or types for plus integer and string. What it's saying is, I'm trying to add integer and string, which is not possible. Either you can add integer to integer, both number will be added. If you do integer and string, it's not possible. Now let's say you want to output something like this. Now what you should do? Yeah? Sorry? A plus you already did. Yes, here. Oh, correct. So I want to convert this integer into string. To convert integer into string, just write str inside that, pass whatever value you need. Okay. So now we can do string and string concatenation. Str of got it? Let's do one little exercise. Take the input age of a person, age 1, input age of a person 1, your age, okay, your age, and age 2 is equals to input of your father's age. Okay, take this. In the output I need the sum of age 1 and age 2. Do this. From the input take your age, another input take your father's age, put it in the two variable age 1 and age 2. Do the sum of it and print it. just wrote the logic. Don't exactly write it. This is just the logic. In the print statement, I need the sum of two age. That's it. Okay. Do this, you will get some error, fix it. If you have done, then I can say that you understood the concept. Let me run this code. See, if I do this, I am expecting the answer as 70, but I got 2050. How? Because that age 1 is a string by default. Whatever you take from the input, listen carefully, very important. It will help you in the coding assessment. Whatever you take from this function input from the terminal, it will be string. To verify, we can use type, print type of age 1. Okay. I'm entering 25. It's saying that the 25, whatever I have there in the age 1, that is a string. If I do string plus string, it will become 2020, 2050. That's what happening. You won't get 70. To get 70, you have to convert that string into integer. Ideally you should do here only, whatever you get the input, convert into integer. Okay. Now you got string from the terminal automatically converted into integer. Now you will be able to add it. Sum of both ages can only contain string, not integer too. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's how you get 70. You convert it into integer, then again the sum of both age is a string, was not converted to string, that age 1 plus age 2, that was integer. I had to reconvert into string so that I get 70. Okay. Now, like how we did a additional, this is a arithmetic operation, okay. A plus B, A minus B, A into B, A divided by B. We have one more thing, A double divided by B and A double star B. Okay. You know this primary maths, plus, minus, multiplication, division and floor division. Okay. Do you guys know what is floor division? What is floor? In English, what is floor? Yeah? In English, what is floor? No. Seal means upper value. Floor means lower. Okay. This is floor division. Okay. So when you do something like 10 divided by 3, what you will get? Here, if you do 10 divided by 3, what you will get? 3.33. Here, if you do 10 divided by 3, as you double, you will get just 3. Whatever actual division is happening, from that you will get a lower value. Even if it is 3.99 something, still you get 3 because we are taking the floor value of it. This double star means power. This is base, this is exponent. 10 into 3 means 10 to the power 3, that is 1000. We have one more thing, modulus, 10 percentage 3. Modulus means if you divide, 3 will be a divisor, 10 will be a dividend, 3 is a 9, 1 is the remainder, right? This remainder you will get output here if you do the percentage thing. Okay, try this, execute it. Plus, minus, into, division, floor division, power, modulus. These are all called arithmetic operations. Try one more edge case for this percentage. Give 0% 3, 3% 0. Check what you will get. try 1% is 3 also. For division, try 10 divided by 0. Look here. Keep one thing in mind. Don't overcomplicate things. If it's a modulus operation, compare the two numbers. If the number on the left side is lesser than the number on the right side, then the answer is this only. Okay. Now tell me the answer for the second one. Yeah. Now if you have the same number on the left and right side, the answer is 0. What about 0 modulus 3? 0. Okay. Now if the number is greater than the number which is on the right side, then we have to do the division and we get the whatever the remainder we get, that is the answer. Here in this case we get the answer 1. Now what about this? In? Yeah, 0 division error. Basically we can't divide the number with 0, right? So this is exception in Python. It's called exception. We'll deal with this in the separate class. One separate class will be taken for the exception only. We'll cover it at that time. Even this is exception. This is also exception. What about 3 to the power 0? How many 0? It's actually 1. Anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. Okay. Keep this in mind. So, other plus minus you might be knowing. These are the edge cases. Okay. Now arithmetic operation is done. Now let's get into comparison operator. Comparison means comparing between two things, okay, two or more things. How can we compare? Either we can compare whether it is less or whether it is greater or whether they are same or is it greater than or equal, less than or equal, whether it is not equal. Anything did I miss? Yeah, this is enough. Okay. This less than symbol, primary class. Greater than symbol, whether they are equal, greater than equal, less than or equal, not equal. Okay. On the left side, some variable will be there. Right side, some variable will be there. Output of this will be either true or false. This is important. Comparison, you might be knowing less than, what is less than, what is greater than. But the output of this is true or false. If it is true, then you will get true. If it is false, you will get false. Okay. Let's take an example. If 10 is less than 20, what is output? Is 10 less than 20? True, right? 10 is obviously less than 20. Is 10 greater than 20? False. Is 10 greater than or equal to 20? False. Is 10 less than or equal to 20? True. Is 20 less than or equal to 20? True. First we will check whether it is less, then we will check whether it is equal. Okay. Is 10 is not equals to 10? False. Is 10 equals to 10? Very simple. Right. Okay. Now next, let's move to logical operation. So now we have two or more variables. Checking the logic between those two. For example, if I have a condition 1 on the left side, condition 1 and condition 2. I have two conditions. Checking the condition of both. I have three options to check this condition logically. Either and, or not. Okay. You might have studied this in digital something subject. Okay. And means if the both side is true, this side and this side, both the side is true, then the output is true. If one of the side is true, if one of the side is true, then the answer is true for OR. This is for AND. See, very simple. AND means both sides should be true. Okay? Anything other than is false only for AND. OR means any one of the side is true means true only. Let's say you have 1 true and 10 false. Doesn't matter. Output is true only for OR. For AND it's not like that. Everything should be true. Okay? So that's how we check the condition. And NOT means if it is true we'll make it false. This is true. To make it not, what's the syntax? Take the not of true, output is false. Not of false, output is true. That's it. Nothing special. Okay. We'll execute it. Got it? Add one more statement, print not of A or B. Print this. And try print not of A. one more very important concept in logical operation. Let's say I have a statement something like this: false and true and false and true or false. Something like this, something big. Okay. Now, what Python does is, as you know, Python will execute line by line everything. Let's say this is in the fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth line. 1 executed, 2 executed, 3 executed. Now we are in the fourth line. Python came. First it checked if okay, false is there. After false, immediately it saw and. False and. Got false, immediately it got and. It won't even execute this particular line. Why? Yeah? Why? Yeah, correct. Anyway, it's gonna false. Why should I check? If it is false and it is and, then I won't even check this. This concept is called short circuit. Okay? Keep this in mind. Yeah. So, I have a bigger statement, something like this. I have false and true or false, something like this. Okay. I got false in the first keyword only. First word only I got false. Immediately after false, I got and operator. Python won't even check this condition. Whatever there after and, it will completely ignore this thing. Why? Anything with false or and is obviously false only. Correct. This to become true, this should be true and everything here should be true. If this is false, obviously output is false only. Okay. When it see false and the automatically it will declare it's a false. It won't even check this condition. So next thing is conditional statement. Now, while we write the code, if you want to implement some condition in our code, we will be using this keyword, if. Okay. So, when we use if, we will write something here in front of if. Listen carefully. We use the keyword if for checking some condition. We write something in front of if. If this is true, whatever code write we inside this if block, no, that will execute. If this is true, inside the if block, whatever the logic we have written, that will be executed. For example, this is in the first line, this is the second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, seventh line. Okay. I have a if keyword here in front of if. If I have true, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4 will execute. Okay. If I have false, whatever I write inside this, mostly we will be using and or not, something like that, whatever we studied till now. Output, end of this, whatever the complete output of this, if this is false, line number 2 won't execute, 3 won't execute, 4 won't execute. Directly it will come to the next conditional statement. Okay. If this becomes false, the next conditional statement is else. This will execute, this will execute, this will execute. Okay. If this is true, these 3 executes, these won't execute. This is how the chain is. Okay. I'll show you the code. As you can see here, in the first line, the output of this is, I directly wrote true. We mostly won't write true. We will be writing some condition there. If that happens, if this happens, if that goes wrong, something like that. Okay. And now end of the output will be either true or false. So I directly wrote true. That's why if I wrote true, it got inside the if block. I use that gap. That gap is called indentation. This gap is there. No, it's a one tap gap. It's a gap of one tap. This is called indentation. If the indentation is wrong, if you just give 3 space or 2 space, error will be thrown. Because that's the syntax. We should use one tap space for indentation. Okay. Keep this keyword in mind. So that's why it got true. That's why this is if block that is printed. If I write it's false, automatically that will be skipped. Else block will be executed. This is else block. Either that or this. Everything won't print. We have one more thing. Listen carefully. This is complete if block from here to here. This is else block from here to here. Elif block. This is else block. Okay. Now the conditional statement. The entire starting from the if to the else, entire thing will be one set of box. Okay. This entire thing will be one set of box. Rest of the code will be separate. If you start from the if, wherever the else ends to that particular code will be a complete one block. Out of that complete one block, only one particular part will be executed, not everything. That depends on what is the output of these boxes. Let's say if this is true, first if statement is true, 2 will execute, 3 will execute, 4 will execute, nothing else will execute. Okay, if this is true. Let's say this is false. It will come back to the next conditional statement, next whatever immediate to that, next elif. If this is true, 6 will execute, 7 will execute, nothing else. This won't execute, this won't execute. Again, if this became false, this is false and this is false, this will execute, nothing else will execute. This part will be executed. Okay. If nothing works, whatever we write inside the else block, that will be executed. Let's say this became false and this became true. This won't execute, this will execute, and immediately it will come out of the box. Rest of the thing won't execute only. Got it? So we can write multiple elif statement. Elif means else if. Elif, else if, both are same. Okay. Suppose if fails, it will come to elif. If elif fails, another elif it will check. That also fails, it will go to another elif. Nothing works, it will go to else. If somewhere in some block became true, that particular block will execute and it will come out of that. Okay, out of the entire from if to else, whatever there, only one particular block will execute. Let's try with one situation. I'll directly execute it. Now we have a situation. I have phone number, I have OTP. Now the phone number and the OTP should match. I am writing a condition. I am writing a condition here. The phone number, whatever I enter here, should exactly match this thing. This thing. Whatever I enter here should exactly match here, because the phone number variable is holding this value. So which operator are we using here? Comparison. Equal comparison. Okay. And we are checking, and we are having one more logical operator, and we are checking OTP, whatever we have entered here, that should exactly match whatever there in the condition. Once again we are checking with the what is it? Comparison. So what is the output of this statement? Only this part. What is the output of this part? Yeah? True. What is the output of this part? True and true means? True and true means? True. So this fourth line, I said in front of if, whatever you write doesn't matter, at the end it will be either true or false. Now we know this became true. If this becomes true, the line number 5 will execute. Whatever inside the if block will be executed. This one, login successful, will execute. Do you think this will execute? Line number 6. Line number 6 will execute or not? No. Line number 7 executes or not? Line number 8 executes or not? Line number 9? No. Let me run this. So line number 5 executed. Let me change the phone number a bit. Now tell me, what is the output of this? No. Just that part, or my highlighted part. False. If this is false and this is AND, what happens? Entire fourth line will become false. If entire fourth line is false, it won't come to fifth line. It will go to sixth line next. In sixth line, yeah. So what is output of this particular part? No, this part, only this part. False. If this is false, entire sixth, because next condition is AND, entire sixth line will become false. So line number 7 won't execute. It will come to else block. There is no condition checking in else. Whatever we write inside else, that will be executed. Invalid phone number. Okay. Now let me correct the phone number and change the OTP. Now tell me, what is the output of this part? This part. True. What is the output of this part? False. True and false means? False. So line number 4 won't execute, 5 won't execute. Next it will check the next condition. Sixth line, whether this is true or false. This is true. This is true or false? This is true. I'm saying OTP is not equals to the, whatever given OTP is not equals to that number, which is true. Both are different numbers. I have 3 extra, what extra here? 1 is extra. So this is true. True and true means true. Line number 7 will execute, nothing else will execute. Okay. So this is how, here in this one single line of code, we have so many operators. What is this operator is called? No. Single is equal to, yeah, that is assignment operator. Double means comparing, okay. Single means assigning. So this is comparing. This is a logical operator. We have conditional statements. If is a conditional statement, else if, else. Got it? Execute this. Try with different edge cases. So next concept. Wherever you see the list in internet, any application, anywhere, any list is loop. Okay. So that's the application of loop. With a repeated task, that we will use loop. One is list. Any list. For example, we scroll reels, right? At a time, 10 reels will be coming into your device. 10 data will come. That will be iterated through loops. 10 will be one box. Okay. 10 reels will be one box. Something like this. Your code will be like, give me one by one. One here, two here, three here, something like this. It will pull one by one and it will show. Wherever you see list of items in the table, that is loop. So any repetitive task also we will use loop. So when I say loop, I need three things. One is where to start, where to end, how much steps should I take. One is from where to start, where to end, how much steps should I take. There should be a starting point, there should be an ending point. If there is no end, it will be keep on going. Then it's called infinite loop. That concept is called infinite loop. When you don't handle the end situation, the code will get into infinite loop and your code will crash. You should always handle this situation, the end. We should know where to end properly. So we need the starting point, we know the ending point. How long you should do the jump, that is called step. Either you can do one step something like this, either you can do bigger jumps, either you can do directly one jump or two jump. So that quantity is there, no, that is called step. For example, if you want to print a number between 1 to 100, you can print the number between 1 to 100. Either you can have a jump of step of 1, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this will go to up to 100. If you are taking the step of 10, then after 1 will be 11, 21, 31, like this. If you are taking the step of 50, 1, 51, next 100. So the step matters. In the loop, three things matters. One is starting point, one is ending point, one is step. Okay. So in Python, the syntax to implement loop is for I in range, start, end, and step. This is the syntax. So here we write what is the starting point, here we write what is ending point, here we write what is the step. For example, if I want to print the number between 1 to 100, the step I want to take is 5. In the starting number I will write 1, ending number I will write 101. Why 101 is, whatever you write here, it will take one lesser than that. If you want 100, then you have to write 101. If you don't want 100, if you want till 99, you can write 100. So it's up to your requirement. So if you want something like 100, 100 plus 1, 1 extra you should write. Then the step, as I said, every 5 steps I am taking. Okay. So if I print this, I will get the first number as 1, second number as, to the starting point, this 1 will come here. See, loop means doing the iteration. It will come to the same logic again, but with the different I value. I will show how the iteration happens. Starting S is 1, end is 100, so 101, step is 5. On the first iteration, on the first cycle, iteration means cycle, okay? Cycle equals to iteration. The first cycle, whatever the starting value for S, what is the starting point? That will be assigned to I. Whatever we write here, I, J, K, doesn't matter, your name also fine. We use mostly I. That value will be assigned to I. This I is called iterator. Okay. Now if I do print I, 1 will be printed first. Once one cycle is done, again it will go back to the condition. That condition is this I, whatever the I, should be less than the end. I should be less than the end. Got it? If this is true, then one more iteration will happen, one more cycle will come. If that is false, the loop will break, it will come out of the loop. So on every cycle, after every cycle, we do this condition, if I is less than end. If that is true, then I will be incremented. The new value of I will be I equals to I plus step. What is the correct value of I? 1. What is the value of step? 5. The new value of I will be 6. Then 6 will be printed. Now I value is 6. Again it will go to the same condition and it will check whether 6 is less than 100. Is it true or false? This is true. Once this becomes true, then here the current I value is 6, step is 5, new I value is 11 will be printed. Again like this happen. At the end, somewhere here, it will come like 90, after 99 we have 104 is less than 100. Something like this will come, assume. Okay? This is true or false? This is false, right? Once this becomes false, it will come out of the loop. Got it? So we have some edge cases also. What if this is negative? What if this is negative? What if this is negative? We'll discuss this tomorrow. Let me execute this. The number from 1 till 96 it got printed. After 96 it might have got 101 here. So it got the condition 101 is less than 100, it failed. That's why till 96 we got. Execute this. Once you're done, you can leave.